Welcome, my friends, to the Bob and Brad podcast. My name is Mike Keenitz, and today I'm interviewing Jordan, who has her bachelor's in exercise science, master's in nutrition, and is a certified personal trainer. She also does the follow-along exercise videos on the Bob and Brad channel. And today we are talking about getting back on track after the holidays. So, without further ado, here's Jordan. For someone who's new and wanting to better themselves through diet and nutrition, what would be your best advice?
So my best advice is don't try to change everything all at once. Like, don't listen to this podcast and be all sparked up and excited or some other thing you listened to or heard or read. Don't try to change it all at once. Pick something, pick one thing, and then change that. Sit on that for a while, make it become a habit, and add in the next thing. Think of what you can accomplish in a year. If you would just add like one little new small habit, like every month or every other month, you could be a whole new person by the end of the year. What I really caution people against is starting a new exercise program, aiming towards 10,000 steps a day, starting a new diet regimen, going from 4 hours of sleep to 9 hours of sleep, starting a yoga meditation program, deciding that they're going to read a book every single day. Like let's, the list goes on and on. Try to just choose one thing, get that down, make it a habit, and then add on. I don't know if, everybody's different. Like I have some people that are like, I'm all or nothing. I'm going all in or I'm all out. But I would say the majority of people just don't work that way. And when you take everything away all at once, we can get real burnt out in a real quick hurry.
Yeah, slow, consistent changes over longer time is going to have more long-term sustainability than all at once. For most people, not saying it can't be done.
Right. Absolutely.
But for me, like progressively changing my diet from the age of 16. So I was pretty much overweight till I was 16.
Okay.
And then from like 16 to now I'm 35. Like it has evolved progressively over like 5-year spans. Like it wasn't like, oh, I just went straight to this. Right. It was like experimentation and exercise. I'd always been active, but that kind of was, slowly progressive. I didn't do it all in 1 year. So, I mean, if people want to do something new this year, maybe pick one thing for January.
Yeah.
And then if it's fine and you feel in control, add something new and still do that in February.
Agreed.
And you can try that. And if it doesn't seem sustainable, back off of something. You don't want to start and go back to your old habits.
Right.
Because that's what happens to a lot of people is they can't do it all, so they quit.
Yes.
And they get very frustrated.
All or nothing mentality, which is just, it's not an effective long-term strategy for sure.
No, that's why a lot of crash diets don't work either long-term. If you look at the rebound gain, if you look at the rebound of weight gain on the Biggest Loser show, it's ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're terrible. There's a study done on a lot of old contestants. Most of them gained it all back.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
It's so extreme.
Yeah.
And it's motivated by money.
Right.
And then they lose that external motivation to money. So now they win money, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that there. Yeah. So that there's studies on this. We're not making it up.
Right.
All right. Are there any other last tips or tricks for someone who wants to start off 2023 being their best and healthiest?
Yeah. So a couple maybe things to just reiterate or to touch on. So one thing to start with, a lot of times when we think of making new healthy changes, our mind first goes to nutrition and exercise. At least that's my experience. When I talk to people like, what do you want to do? What do you want to change? It's diet and exercise first. But I think what we need to also understand, we need to remember basic things too, like rest, sleep, and stress as well. The reason I bring this up is because we can have the absolute best killer workout routine and plan, best diet in place, but then we could be sleeping for 4 hours a night, never taking a rest day, and you are not going to get anywhere with that kind of grind. So I think it's super important that people also prioritize that in life, prioritize your rest days, prioritize getting enough sleep. Like, honestly, if it comes to like, I'm either going to get 5 hours of sleep a night or I'm going to get to that 5 a.m. workout, like you should probably get the extra sleep. We underestimate how important it is and how much we need that in our life. So maybe set some goals this new year to also get more sleep, reduce your stress levels, things of that nature, rather than just what's my next best workout routine or diet that I can try. So that would be one extra tip I would add on that I didn't touch a lot on. If you live with somebody else, maybe you have a spouse at home, a partner. If you live alone, maybe this is not as applicable to you. If you live alone, then you're your own worst enemy. But if you live with somebody, try to get them on board if you can with your changes. So it wouldn't do me a whole lot of good, for example, to go on a new diet regimen if my husband wanted to still eat ice cream and pizza, because he's going to sabotage me away from it. So if you can, try to get your spouse or partner on board, because two is better than one in trying to make change, and you guys can build each other up rather than tear each other down. What else? Expect failure. When you try to change things, like, it's part of the journey. Very rarely do you start something new and it's just this perfect trend in the right direction. Expect to fail and just jump back on that. Too many times people see failure as, well, I guess I'm done now. But instead, like, say you decided you were going to do the keto diet. I'm giving that example only because you do that, Mike. But and then, you went out with friends and had some drinks and ate something you shouldn't. And you're like, well, screw that. I guess I'm not doing the keto diet anymore. How about instead you just jump back on the next day? Or one bad meal shouldn't ruin your entire day. And I think that's the case for a lot of people. So just be patient with yourself and just know that failure is absolutely part of the journey. You're going to experience it for the rest of your life. So just be okay with that, and be okay with just getting back on track at the next meal, the next day, whatever you're working towards as your goal. And what else? I don't know. I guess just to wrap things up, remember there's a lot of aspects of health. It's fitness, it's moving your body, it's eating good, clean foods to fuel ourselves, to feel our best, getting proper rest, doing things that fill your cup, bring you joy, keep your stress levels low. It's all aspects really to keep us at our most optimal, healthy selves.
Right. I would like to add, we just made a short video, Annie and I did, another coworker, on sleeping. And we actually had a study that said, it's from 2010. I can link it down below. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. It's from the University of Chicago or something.
Okay.
But they had two groups of people, and they were both put on a caloric deficit diet. So they ate the same amount of food.
Okay.
They had the same amount of activity. Everything was the same. And the only thing they did, when one group, they made the people sleep like 8.5 hours, and the other group slept 5.5 hours.
Okay.
And they tracked them for a while, and the weight loss in both groups was identical, because the calories and amount of movement was the same. But the people that slept more, the amount of fat that they actually lost was 55% more than the group that only got 5.5 hours of sleep. So the group that got less sleep, they lost weight, but they also lost more muscle, where the other group retained more of their muscle mass when losing weight and lost more body fat, which is typically what you want, because people have to realize weight loss and fat loss correlate, but they're not the same thing. So
right. Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, sleep is very important. It can have good effects on you.
Yeah, that's a good one to send this home with. And a big point I wanted to get across in message with this is, it's more than just diet and exercise. Like, it's also what we do in the other hours of our day. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else?
I think I said everything I want to say today.
Okay, good. Well, thank you for joining us.
All right. Thank you for having me.